What's going on, guys? This is your boy Billy Chuck coming at you with episode 18. I've been wanting to do this for a long time. In this episode, we conquer the band Mastodon. Let's get it. Okay, so Mastodon, they're from Atlanta, Georgia, and they formed in 2000. The band's lineup consists of Troy Sanders on bass and vocals, Brent Hines on lead guitar, Bill Keller on rhythm guitar, and Brand Daler on the drums. Mastodon was formed on January 13th, 2000, after drummer Brand Daler and guitarist Bill Keller moved from their home state of New York to Atlanta, Georgia, and met bassist Troy Sanders and guitarist Brent Hines at a High on Fire show. They discovered they had a mutual appreciation of sludge metal from the Melvins to Neurosis, Iron Maiden, and Thin Lizzy. They began working on music together shortly thereafter. In an '09 interview, Keller revealed that the first time Hines attended a practice with the band, he showed up so wasted he couldn't play. Unlike many of the bands prior to this episode, bands always swap members in and out, in and out. So many different people in these bands. But Mastodon's lineup has remained unchanged since 2001. They released 8 studio albums as well as a number of other releases. I just want to add that I remember seeing Mastodon very early in their career. They were on second stage. I believe it was like 9:30 in the morning. I was already fucking plastered, but I don't remember for the life of me what show it was, if it was Ozfest or whatnot. If anyone knows, please leave it in the comments. But Mastodon's first album was called Remission, and that was released May 28th, 2002, and featured the songs Crusher, Destroyer, which was included on Tony Hawk's Underground soundtrack, and the band's first single, March of the Fire Ants. Corresponding with a music video for March of the Fire Ants, a deluxe edition of Remission was released in October 2003. The deluxe edition contained a cover of the Thin Lizzy song Emerald and a bonus DVD with a professionally filmed live set recorded at the Masquerade in Atlanta. Alright, so Mastodon's third album was called Leviathan, and this album is a concept album based on the novel Moby Dick. The songs Iron Tusk, Naked Burn, and Blood and Thunder were released as promotional singles, and music videos were created for Iron Tusk, Blood and Thunder, and Sea Beast. 3 magazines awarded the album of the year in '04: Revolver, Kerrang, and Terrorizer. So, congrats to Mastodon. In '09 and 2015, Metal Sucks named Leviathan the best metal album of the 21st century. Leviathan also was released with an audio DVD and a limited edition set with a black and gold slipcase. The album brought Mastodon widespread critical acclaim, and together with the ensuing tour greatly extended their fan base. It sold 106,000 copies by September of '06. Guitarist Bill Keller considers the album a representation of the water element, in keeping with the fundamental elements of the band's first 4 albums. Mastodon's 4th album was called Blood Mountain, and that was released in 2006. This album was actually nominated for a Grammy for Best Metal Performance back in 2007. It's also a concept album, just like the album before. According to bassist Troy Sanders, it's about climbing up a mountain and the different things that can happen to you when you're stranded on a mountain in the woods and you're lost. You're starving, hallucinating, running into strange creatures. You're being haunted. I'm sorry, you're being hunted, not haunted. It's about the whole struggle. Guitarist Bill Keller considers the album to represent the earth element. At the time, bassist Troy Sanders called it sonically the best album we have ever done, he said. The band's emphasis on clean, melodic vocals instead of the harsher vocals that the band used on their early work continues to grow on the album. The album also includes guest appearances by Scott Kelly of Neurosis, Josh Homme of Queens of the Stone Age, and as well as keyboard player Isaiah Owens of the Mars Volta, and singer Cedric Bixler Zabala, and he's in the band At the Drive-In. The Mars Volta on Pendulous Skin and Siberian Divide, respectively. If you guys are like what you're seeing so far, if you like what I'm sharing with you, hit that like button, hit that subscribe button. Now, let's get back to it. Mastodon's 5th album was called Crack the Sky, and they released that in 2009. This album debuted at number 11 on the Billboard 200, selling 41,000 copies in its first week. In Australia, the album debuted at number 19. It had sold 200,000 copies in the US as of September 2010, making it one of their highest selling albums to date. So congrats. According to an interview on the DVD, The Making of Crack the Sky, this album represents the element of ether, which is represented by the souls and spirits of all things, a theme closely related to the context of the album, because the elements of fire, water, and earth have already been represented by the band's first 3 albums. In the band's 7th album, Emperor of Sand, respectively, the element of air is the only classical element which is yet to be represented by a Mastodon album. As their follow-up studio albums, The Hunter and Once More Around the Sun do not represent an element, nor are they concept albums. Mastodon's sixth album was called The Hunter, and that was released in 2011. And September 6, 2011 in the UK, and one day later in the US. In an interview with MTV Germany, it was revealed that the album will be called dedicated to Brent Hines' brother, who died unfortunately during the making of the album. In its first week of release in the UK, the album reached number 19 on the UK Albums Chart and number 10 on the Billboard 200, selling over 39,000 copies in the first week. As of December 2011, The Hunter has sold over 75,133 copies in the US. So, congrats. The Hunter features the song Curl of the Burl, which was nominated for a Grammy for Best Hard Rock Metal Performance in 2020. The band's sixth album was called Once More Around the Sun, and that was released on June 24th, 2014. But a few months before, on April 17th, 2014, Mastodon released the album's first single. It was called High Road. On June 16th, 2014, the album was made available for streaming on iTunes. This album sold around 34,000 copies in the US in its first week of release to land at number 6 on the Billboard 200 chart, making it the band's highest speaking album on the chart and their second consecutive top 10 debut. Congrats. Mastodon's seventh album was called Emperor of Sand, and that was released in 2017. This album features the band's most commercially successful song to date. It was called Show Yourself, which peaked at number 4 on the US Billboard Mainstream Rock Songs chart in June 2017. The follow-up single, Steam Breather, peaked at number 18 on the same chart in 2017. The album's opening track, Sultan's Curse, earned the band its first Grammy Award, so congrats. Emperor of Sand was the band's first album to receive a Grammy nomination. It was nominated for Best Rock Album. Alright, you guys. Mastodon's 8th and most recent album was called Hushed and Grim, and that was released in 2021. This album was released as a double album on October 29th, 2021. The album is the band's longest to date, their first double album. Guest appearances include Soundgarden's Kim Tail on Had It All, and Troy Sanders' mother, Jody Sanders, on French horn. There is no guest vocal appearance by Scott Kelly from Neurosis for the first time since their 2002 debut, Remission, due to Kelly's withdrawal from the public eye that was not announced until August 2022. The album also serves as a tribute to Mastodon's former manager, Nick John, after his death from cancer in 2018. The cover features the title plate before a dormant tree resembling a torso and outstretched arms rendered in blacks and grays. The face of Nick John, the band's longtime manager, appears within the tree, peering above an eight-spoked wheel. The band features John's passing in 2018 as the particular lyrical inspiration for the album. Also pictured are a deer, a rabbit with a crow mask, a spider, and several hyenas, one of which faces the viewer sporting a Italian male pony like saddle on its back, giving the appearance of Cerberus. And for all y'all simple minded motherfuckers, in Greek mythology, Cerberus, often referred to as the Hound of Hades, is a multi headed dog that guards the gates of the underworld to prevent the dead from leaving. Alright, you guys, that's all I got for you. As always, if you like what you've seen, like what you heard, like spending some time with your boy Billy Chuck, hit that like button, smash that subscribe button, leave me some comments. I don't care if you're a fucking asshole or not. Just show me some love. Peace.